That's right. These are all the big questions, or just some of the big questions that we will have for you in this installment of Mood of the Nation, India Today's exclusive poll survey. I'm joined by very special guests who will guide me through the numbers. I'm joined by Rajdeep Dubey, our managing editor at Business Today. He'll give us a sense of what this means for the political economy. Ajit Jha, he is the editor-research at India Today. It's his team that's worked with Karvy to put together the survey. GVL Narasimha Rao, former pollster, but now in his role as BJP MP and spokesperson. Manisha Priyam, senior political analyst and someone who's tracked elections for years and representing the Congress. Priyanka Chaturvedi, Congress's spokesperson. And I'm also joined by Mohammad Salim, the CPIM MP, joins me from Kolkata. I appreciate all of you joining us here on the Mood of the Nation. Let's then get straight to the numbers. First, take a look at the methodology. This is the methodology in our poll. Our poll was done across the end of December and early January. This poll has tracked 12,166 interviews across the country, all face-to-face interviews across India, covering 97 parliament constituencies across India, 1 in every 6. Survey conducted from 20th of December to the 8th of January. As we told you yesterday, we gave you all the big numbers. We told you in terms of who would win the elections if they were held today. Take a look at what our early numbers were. Just a quick reminder for you. Our numbers of projected vote share. NDA, the Narendra Modi-led NDA, 35%, that's down 3. UPA, 33%, up 10. Others, 32%, down 7. So clearly, the NDA taking a hit, the Congress-led UPA getting the advantage at the moment. How does this translate into seats? In the 543-member assembly, this is what the Mood of the Nation had said, 543-member parliament. NDA 237, down 99. UPA 166, we had said, up 107. Others 140, down 8. So clearly, it is a hung parliament. If you look at party-wise now, take a look at party-wise what we had projected. Our projected seat share party-wise, BJP 202, down 80. No longer a party with a majority, but a party now desperately searching allies. Congress up, but still not in. 97, up 53. So Congress struggling still to reach the 3-figure mark. Others, 244, down 27. And as we've been saying, these others will now decide possibly who forms the government in Delhi if elections are held today. We're going to give you the numbers now of prime ministerial candidates. Who's the 56% are saying the incumbent Narendra Modi. 46% are saying Narendra Modi. 34% are saying Rahul Gandhi. 34% Rahul Gandhi. 3% Mamata Banerjee. Remember, she had that big Mahagathbandhan meeting the other day. The others, we are only giving you the top 5. Priyanka Gandhi just announced her entry into politics this week, 2%. Arun Jaitley, finance minister, 2%. So these are our top 5, but clearly the battle is between the big two when it comes to a direct question posed. Who do you want as Prime Minister? Narendra Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. But I want to tell you what the Modi-Rahul dynamics have been like. And this is fascinating now. From February 16, Mood of the Nation has been tracking the two leaders. And take a look at what has happened. Narendra Modi was as high as 65% popularity in January 2017, just after demonetization. That was his peak. Rahul was at an all-time low of 10%. Since then, Rahul has steadily climbed up to 34%, and it's Mr. Modi who's witnessed the decline to 46. This now is the lowest gap between the two, and that is the big picture that I want to look at. Has the gap between Mr. Modi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi really reduced? And what are its implications? Ajit Jha, as the person who's conducted this survey, would that be a fair assessment? Mr. Modi was peaking with demonetization. He's now down.
Absolutely, Rajdeep. Just 2 years ago, in fact, when we did the poll, it seemed that there was no hope for the Congress. In fact, they looked in total despair. And Mr. Modi was at the height of his peak. And as you rightly pointed out, it was right after demonetization. But consistently since then, especially since Rahul's attack on Mr. Modi about the Soot Boot Ki Sarkar, we noticed a change. The budget after that and the following period, we saw Rahul consistently moving up. And now the gap is a mere 12%. So yes, there is a great slide. As we pointed out, when Rahul first attacked Modi about the Soot Boot Ki Sarkar, that's when the exact, we noticed that the decline had begun of Mr. Modi.
You know, there will be those who will say the Soot Boot Ki Sarkar. Let's be honest. Even after the Soot Boot Ki Sarkar, there was demonetization. And Mr. Modi continued to build on his image as the anti-corruption crusader. The real decline seems to have begun in 2017/18. And that's where the gap seems to have reduced. What has changed? Manisha Priyam, I've given the big numbers. Mr. Modi versus Rahul, 65% played 10%. In January of 2017, 2 years later, on the eve of the big elections, the gap has narrowed to just 12%. What has changed? What is the trigger?
One of the things that's quite certain is that the Indian political arena is continually being reshaped by the people. No two political moments are the same. And I would say, I wouldn't say this was a Soot Boot moment, this was a demonetization moment. I think demonetization up until Uttar Pradesh, but the reshaping of the arena has happened when the states of the Hindi heartland have begun speaking up. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi, beginning from the Gujarat elections, Karnataka, he's gone on, good, bad, ugly, he's done his campaign.
Was Gujarat the turning point?
I think Gujarat was the turning point, even though it's not recognized because the Congress could not make their government there. But that he has gone, done the rallies, spoken, Karnataka, but the real turnaround has happened after these 3 state elections. No two political moments are the same. I wouldn't be surprised if this graph changed even more as we draw to a close and go into 2019 elections.
Because objective factors could change. Is there a sense that, Rajiv Dubey, that the peak was demonetization? Mr. Modi went to the people, was able to package demonetization as a battle against corruption and got the benefits of it. Today, 2 years on, demonetization is no longer seen in the same favorable terms, it would seem. Was that the turning point, particularly from an economic perspective? 2017-18, suddenly the Achhe Din were no longer quite there.
So even from our poll, you'll see that the economic mood of the nation seemed to peak around January as far as the economic factors are concerned.
January 2017.
January 2017. And today, it is at the second lowest since February 16. So basically what it says is that the interest level as far as the PM and his government is concerned has waned somewhat from the economic point of view, largely because job creation has been slow, has been way lower than what was projected, largely because the farm distress, the farm crisis has continued all these 4 years and 4.5 years that the government has been in power. And the most interesting thing here is that the question on whether this economic performance has been worse than Congress-led government, it has actually moved on from 15% in February 16 to 28% today. So that's something that the government needs to worry about.
So you think it's the economy is stupid, that's where it changed. GVL Narasimha Rao, we've heard from the expert, now you tell us, what has changed in objective terms for the Prime Minister at 65% popularity, now to be down to 46, Rahul Gandhi from 10% up 34%.
As a former pollster, I think it's important for one to remember that mood of the nation polls on the eve of elections sometimes have given disastrous projections. So a word in caution.
Sir,
I think I'm only stating our own. You see, I'm not blaming the pollster. 2004, you gave 100 seats extra to the BJP on the eve of 2004 polls. You predicted 300 odd seats for the BJP. We got 100 less. I think this time you are making a mistake on the other side. You are predicting 100 seats less for us. We will see when actual results happen.
It is amusing when pollsters, former pollsters belittle polls.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
Of late, I have been telling a lot of journalists, I have predicted elections based on journalistic assessments, and have been right on most of the times.
Okay, good.
Okay, so polls have their own internal...
You tell us what has changed.
Yeah.
Come on, something has changed.
Now, 2-3 things. One, as I said, one has to look at polls with a bit of caution.
Done.
Because Lok Sabha polls, from my own experience I'm saying this, done several months before elections, cannot predict what is the real outcome.
Sir, forget
only
the numbers.
when you will
Look
certainly
at
be able to...
Sir, I'm asking you a direct question. Popularity from 65% to 46.
Okay, 60.
Rahul Gandhi going from 10 to 34.
See,
Please give me a straight answer. What has changed?
Which journalist or which channel was able to reckon that Prime Minister's popularity was at its peak in 2017 Jan? Did any of us, all of you, on all the shows I joined you on this channel, you have been saying demonetization is disaster, people will reject BJP, this is the lowest point of the BJP, and we went on to win a spectacular victory. This poll was done before January 7th. You have left the last 10 slog overs of the match. You have decided the outcome of this election based on the first 30 overs. You have not taken into account the new legislation. You don't know what is going to happen from now till elections. We are pinch hitters. Gujarat, you all gave up.
I'm interested in the cricketing analogy now that you're using. A 5-year government is telling me, please wait for the last 6 months.
No, because the mood has to set in. This is not the mood. The real mood. The real mood will set in the last 2 months.
Very quickly, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Don't take the polls. 2017 March, you won UP with 325 seats. You swept UP. Look at the December debacle last year. You lost all the 4 states that you contested. Now, what I'm saying is, both the polls at that time was right next to the UP poll. This poll is right after the December debacle. The same party is sweeping Uttar Pradesh, the same party in 3 Hindi heartland states.
The problem is, I think all of us as analysts become wiser after the event. I think until UP happened, nobody thought BJP was going to sweep Uttar Pradesh. And after this, now we think it's a great moment. It's because of demonetization BJP won. I think you will really analyze after this election.
I want a serious analysis, Priyanka Chaturvedi. Something has changed, and I want to focus on the prime ministerial numbers at the moment. Because look at that graph as I'm showing. It shows Mr. Modi peaking, coming down. He's still ahead of Rahul Gandhi. Let's be clear. Priyanka Chaturvedi, 12% is a substantial margin. 12% lead for the Prime Minister. Are you willing to that extent to even consider making 2019 a presidential election? Do you see in those numbers hope to make it Rahul versus Modi, or you want to stay away from presidential elections?
No, firstly, I'm not going to get into this discussion about Narendra Modi's downfall. Downfall is imminent simply because he hasn't worked for the people of this country, has worked solely for the benefit of a few, the suited, the booted and the corporates. And it in your survey itself shows, did Modi help Reliance to get Rafale offset?
I'll come to those numbers. I'm going to come to those numbers,
yes, he has helped. So
I'm coming to the Rafale numbers later.
That actually proves
I am asking you what
Allow me, I will tell you.
Are you ready to make it Modi versus Rahul?
No. Firstly, we must understand, India doesn't run on a presidential system. We are not the United States of America. We've taken a parliamentary form of democracy, and we are going to be talking about issues. And if you would remember, and if you recall our past elections in the various states that we have won, we have made it about the people of the states. We have made it about the problems that they face. It is about the issues that are at hand. And corruption is a big issue, and you can see it from your survey. Joblessness is a huge issue. Farmer crisis is a huge issue. And if the analyst here, the pollster who's now Rajya Sabha MP, continues to feel that they have nothing to fear, then they can go ahead and continue to feel that way. We will consistently talk about the issues at hand, and I think that is what has changed for Sri Rahul Gandhi.
I'll come to the issues.
2017,
yes.
2017 January at 10% acceptability to his rise to 34% today, continues to show that the last 6 overs are going to go in Congress party.
No, what has changed? What, according to you, has changed between January 2017 and January 2019?
Consistently, Sri Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party continue to talk about the issues, and we saw Prime Minister Modi making it about himself, making it about his own greatness, and not willing to accept the mood of the nation. The mood of the nation is angry. They're upset about joblessness. The youth is annoyed. The women are upset. You have an entire farmer crisis at hand, but you're refusing to acknowledge it. So we talk issues. We are talking from the people's perspective. They continue to talk about their own political narrative.
You're saying that the BJP or Mr. Modi is talking about personalities, you want to talk about issues, but Mohammad Salim of the left? Give us a sense from your perspective, 2017 to 19, what has changed? purely in terms, I'm looking now at popularity of leaders. Has something changed in the political air that the gap between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi has shrunk from 55% to just 12%? What has changed?
Yes, because you are following this thoroughly, and this is how the slide started, and it's sliding. From Modi's popularity from the top, because people expected something to be delivered. Black money is to be brought in, the financial crisis will be over, the agrarian crisis will be addressed, and job will be created, Gujarat model will work. And now what's happening? So people have its patience, and they have seen how Jumla did not work. So once that realization is there, so discredit, once the government is discredit, even if you add on with few issues like Ram Temple or ordinances or triple talaq, that is going to add in the minus side, not on the plus side. People want the government to address the real issues. And on the other hand, Rahul Gandhi persistently, though I don't discuss personality, but in between there was AICC session and they had reoccupied the left of the center position, see their economic resolution. And that is how this Sood Butka Sarkar, this is how this Chaukidar Chor hai, because how the corruption issue, how the agrarian crisis, how the student issues, how the unemployment issues are being addressed. So naturally, the vacuum earlier created by the shifting of Congress towards the right, now after reinventing Congress and
interesting, you're seeing a right.
Era, you see how the common people who
interesting, you're seeing in these numbers a shift of the Congress center of left helping you, or left of center. But respond again, GVN Narasimha Rao. The sense that your opponents are saying is since 2017, they've focused relentlessly on issues, and your government at times has been in denial. The first 2 years were the honeymoon period where Mr. Modi threw up a lot of expectations. The expectation was simply too high to meet in such a short period of time. So there is a sense of disillusionment.
I think, you see, people who have already decided what to say, I think there are many analysts who have decided well in advance how to rationalize.
I'm going by the numbers.
Okay, now
let me give you reality of numbers.
The three states that went to polls in the Hindi heartland are a different kettle of fish compared to other Hindi heartland states, which we have won. How are they different? Haryana is a state which we never won. Uttar Pradesh is a state where we won once or twice in the past, but with hardly a bare majorities. Okay, so those victories are largely an account of the expanded influence of Prime Minister Modi's popularity. The states that went to polls now, these are the states where we have had state leadership, where we have had chief ministers repeatedly, and their performance was under test, not like in Uttar Pradesh. So these deliveries, and despite all the negativity, one second, let me complete.
This is a national poll. This is a national poll which is showing the Prime Minister's popularity now having declined. You give me an explanation as to why you think that's happened.
It's not decline. What do you mean by decline?
From 65% to 46%.
No, but you're talking. We did not contest Lok Sabha elections in 2017. Was there a Lok Sabha election in 2017 that I'm not aware of?
There's a mood of the
The
nation
election
poll.
was in 2014. What was the ratings at that time? Pull out that, and you will see we are more or less at the same level, and we still will go higher and higher.
Mr.
We were
Modi
not
has
above this.
consistently been over 50%.
No, not
coming
before
down to
2014. I
46.
challenge you. Pull out the numbers.
Sir, I am telling you, Mr. Modi was above 50% consistently. He's now come below 50%.
After 2016, yes, there was a
So
hike.
what has changed?
No,
Is
but
it just anti-incumbency?
at 65, I'll win 480 seats, 500 seats. We are not expecting to win 480
So
seats.
you are living in
So
denial.
65, we are not even expecting.
Are you telling me the Prime Minister's...
65.
Just a minute, sir. Direct question. Are you telling me the Prime Minister's popularity today is the same that it was in 2014, in your view?
Absolutely. In fact, it's better. And it will
Important
go
to
up.
make the
It will
distinction
go
in
up.
his view. In
Sorry?
his
No,
view, it is
not in my
popular.
view. Look at the data.
But the country
when
feels
you are
otherwise.
doing the poll,
Yes.
and let us be analysts, let's be experts, let's not talk like political commentators. Please pull out the numbers.
Sir,
Before 2014,
sir,
our
to
Prime
number-
Minister ratings was around this. It was
sir,
not higher than this.
Sir, seldom do I differ with you, but number to number, you can't tell us that I'll take the end points, but I'll discredit the midpoint. So why
What
take
this
this
point?
point? And
I'm saying 2017 is a
accept
peak
the
which you
stochasticity
cannot
of data.
expect. You
Each
can't
point
win.
is significant.
You can't
You made your point.
In a match, you can't score 400 runs in every test match, every one-day match.
That's a fair point
Those
to
are
make.
high peaks.
That's a fair
You don't
point
need
that you
that
had a
high
high peak.
peak.
Okay, I want to still try and persist with this. What has changed? Because, you know, something has changed. Hawa badli hai. Now, Rahul Gandhi, is it just because he's more visible? Let's be clear, Ajit Jha. Ever since he became Congress president, he's become much more visible. Is it simply a visibility factor that people now know he's the Congress president? So automatically his popularity goes up for those who don't want Narendra Modi.
You see, first of all, within the Congress, there is no other leader
sir,
now.
one
He is being projected.
Oh my
Number two,
God.
he's been more visible. These are two
Okay.
points.
Let
Has he
him-
added
sir,
half a
let him
percent vote?
answer. Let him answer.
Has he added any vote? That's the critical
Okay,
question.
answer.
He's certainly added a lot of vote
Yes,
for
okay,
that
you
matter.
prove
If
that.
you take the 3 assembly elections that you just talked about in December in the Hindi heartland, one reason was Rahul's brilliant campaign in these 3 states. But number 2, I think the fact that Rahul Gandhi has consistently, as pointed out by one of our speakers, pointed out or focused on the basic economic issues, jobs, farmer crisis. Ever since Rohit Vemula happened, you see Rahul Gandhi's entire campaign has changed. He has stuck to the ground. He has focused on economic issues. He has attacked the Prime Minister directly. Earlier, it wasn't so direct on the issues of corruption, Rafale, on the other issues.
Okay.
And third, last point, and that the Congress has been able to challenge the Hindutva monopoly of BJP by what some people call a soft Hindutva, what I would call use of symbols, Janodhari, that I think is also very, very important.
This is in retrospect.
In retrospect, has something changed? Just as we are trying to find out what's changed for Prime Minister Modi, what has changed for Rahul Gandhi? Is it, as I said, simply the fact that he's now Congress president, he's more visible, therefore if you're anti-Modi, you gravitate to whoever is ready to take him on?
And I also want to add
Yes,
something when she's done, yes.
Even when he was campaigning in Karnataka, he was not being taken very seriously. So I think the victories in these 3 states have really decisively changed. Not just the victories. Remember, there's been struggle even as to who will be the chief minister. And there was hope that he'll not be able to decide, there'll be a muddle. But he seems to have emerged out of all this. And I think it is this. Because even, I quite clearly remember trailing even in Karnataka, and I was not confident that he'll be able to pull through anything. And the Karnataka chief ministership was actually setting him aside. It was Ghulam Nabi Azad who went and did the honors on his behalf.
You're saying
These 3 states,
you're saying the state elections made the difference, though it started with Gujarat.
It
started with Gujarat, but the real
is,
momentum is these 3 states.
he's also picked up chief ministerial candidates, his will, he's negotiated. I think all that has changed the
Okay.
image. Wasn't the campaigning even in
Priyanka
Karnataka.
Chaturvedi, having said that, are you still, you're not answering my question. Do you believe that Rahul Gandhi can match up to a Narendra Modi's
Absolutely.
popularity? The gap is still 12%.
I have been consistently saying this on your channel. Every Congress party worker is enthused enough and energized enough and working towards ensuring that Sri Rahul Gandhi makes the Independence Day speech from the Red Fort on August 15, 2019.
Rahul Gandhi.
Yes,
That's a
and
shift
now-
in stance.
now-
No,
now
that's a
can I-
shift
I'm
in
talking
stance.
about-
Until
please allow me
now,
to
you were
complete.
not projecting Rahul Gandhi as
please
Prime
allow
Minister.
me
Now
to
you're saying
complete.
Rahul Gandhi
Please
August
allow-
2019.
Yes. I'm talking about every Congress party workers' hope and belief. And I say it from the point of confidence simply because you ask what has shifted.
Yes.
Right from the day one, from 2014 onwards, ever since Mr. Modi took charge and he brought in the land ordinance, it has been Rahul Gandhi who has been speaking about it from all forums, whether it is about the land ordinance, it's about the farmer crisis, whether it is about growing joblessness, demonetization, unimplementable GST, which you all have created a mess out of, small, medium enterprises, small businesses, entrepreneurs, youth. He has been talking about it. The second part I would like to mention here, I disagree with what Manisha ji is saying, though I agree in large parts about how Rahul Gandhi ji has emerged as the opposition leader. But right from Karnataka to Gujarat, he has absolutely shown to every Congress party worker and every single Indian that we are capable of taking up the Modi challenge and hitting them where it hurts, and that is on issues. Issues was what was the discussion point in 2014.
How will you then respond to the BJP's argument that Priyanka Gandhi's entry into formal politics is an admission that Rahul Gandhi alone cannot take on Narendra Modi?
You know, they come up with all kinds of absurd charges. They are totally shaken, rattled. And they know after the defeat in 3 major states, important states from the point of view of not just the Lok Sabha, even the stranglehold of the Bharatiya Janata Party, they have weakened. So they can come up with a whole lot of charges. But Shri Rahul Gandhi has concentrated only on one thing, strengthening the organization and becoming the voice of the people. And I think he has succeeded
Where does that fit in
spectacularly
with
from
with
10%
the narrative
in
of Priyanka
2017
Gandhi's?
to 34%. I
so
think it's a
therefore,
huge
you
change.
don't accept this narrative that Priyanka Gandhi is needed to boost Rahul Gandhi's popularity.
She is going to boost the Congress party's prospects in Uttar Pradesh. It has been the long-standing demand of lots of party workers to have her take charge in Uttar Pradesh, take political calls and begin the change for the Congress party from Uttar Pradesh onwards. And we believe 2019 would begin from Uttar Pradesh.
Let me ask you then, Rajiv Dubey, before we end this segment, is the business world taking this as seriously, perhaps as we are pitting it, Rahul versus Modi? Is for the business world still Narendra Modi the prime candidate that they look at, and the others are still seen with an element of suspicion and skepticism?
You know, one of the biggest,
including Rahul Gandhi?
you know, one of the biggest barometers of the business world is the stock market. And if you see, the stock market has by and large stayed the same. So they expect him to be back in power from what you can make out as of now. But
our numbers have shaken them. I can promise you.
This would be quite an eye opener. But the most interesting thing, as far as the economic issues are concerned, is that many of the legislations that this government has brought into the field have really still have industries in siege. You know, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Court has not been able to resolve the banking crisis. The banking industry is still under siege. The RERA has not been able to resolve the real estate crisis. It's still under siege. GST has not taken off. It's just not been able to deliver because people have found ways around GST. So many of the regulations very interesting.
Is the Modi magic among the business world, which was so high in 2014?
It has taken a beating.
It has
taken a beating because as far as the small and medium enterprises are concerned, they are not at all enthused about the way this government is going.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Now remember, we've looked at Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi, how they measure up. But we are predicting a hung parliament in 2019. Who are the other contenders? Best alternative to Prime Minister Modi amongst opposition. 52% are saying Rahul Gandhi. So Rahul Gandhi emerging as the face, in a sense, of the opposition to Mr. Narendra Modi. Are saying Mamata Banerjee, who I reiterate held that big Mahagathbandhan rally in Kolkata last weekend. 5% are saying Akhilesh Yadav, who's tied up with Mayawati in the crucial state of Uttar Pradesh. Interesting, P. Chidambaram is seen as possibly among the more urban middle class an option. 5% are saying P. Chidambaram, and Priyanka Gandhi also comes in at 5%. And maybe that's, remember, this poll was done before she entered politics. So these are our top 5. Mamata Banerjee and Akhilesh Yadav, the two among the non-Congress faces here. We've also asked the question, who's best suited to lead this Mahagathbandhan, non-BJP led Mahagathbandhan? Again, 41% saying Rahul Gandhi, once again emerging as a magnet for the opposition. 11% saying Mamata Banerjee, she among the regional leaders emerging strongly. Arvind Kejriwal, 9%, just in case you thought he was lost, he's still around, 9%. Naveen Patnaik, who hopes to win once again in Odisha, been chief minister for 2 decades now, 6%. Mayawati, who has tied up with Akhilesh, at 5%. This is when we ask the question of leadership. This is how it looks. The non-BJP led Mahagathbandhan. One more interesting question we asked in the survey. Who's the best alternative to Prime Minister Modi within the BJP? Remember, we are saying the BJP will get 202 seats. Will the allies ask for another Prime Minister? 22% said Amit Shah. So clearly the BJP president seen by some as a potential alternative. 16% said Yogi Adityanath. Again, the visibility factor helps Yogi Adityanath and possibly Amit Shah as well. 13% said Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, again from the crucial state of Uttar Pradesh. Many see him as a consensual figure. 12% said Arun Jaitley. Remember, again, like Chidambaram, urban middle classes are among those who we've surveyed. And 11% said Nitin Gadkari. Now, the buzz in the Delhi bazaar is Nitin Gadkari is the preferred choice of Nagpur if the allies say we want someone else other than Mr. Modi. So these are our top 5 within the BJP Sangh Parivar, from Amit Shah, Yogi Adityanath, Rajnath, Arun Jaitley and Nitin Gadkari. Who's best suited to lead a non-BJP, non-Congress led federal front, a front of the chief minister like 1996? Mamata Banerjee coming strongly there at 21%. Again, the fact that she's taken up the challenge may well be helping her, the West Bengal chief minister. Then you have Akhilesh Yadav, 10%. Again, the fact that he comes from a populist state like UP makes perhaps a difference. 9% Chandrababu Naidu, the man who wants to stitch all this together. 9% Mayawati, many believe that she is the dark horse this time. And 8% said Arvind Kejriwal. So these are our options as you look at among the regional leaders, as you can see at the moment. Anything about that, Manisha Priyam, that stands out straight away? Any leader who, for you, appears as a potential alternative, or should we not be looking beyond Mr. Modi and Rahul Gandhi at the moment?
Well, clearly, I mean, even if you see the figures for the Mahagathbandhan, it's Rahul Gandhi who's being preferred by leaps and bounds, even to the Mamata Banerjee who's put it together. But, you know, Rahul Gandhi was not even there on the dais as the Brigade Mahadivation happened. So clearly, there is a perception shift in favor of Rahul Gandhi. That is the headline. And the other part is that the other contenders that we thought would be important, people like Mayawati, are really appearing only for their recall value, not really with significant numbers backing them. However, we understand that the Mahagathbandhan or non-Congress, non-BJP is really a game of coalitional arrangements, and we don't know who can be the surprise dark horse were this to be the result of the elections.
That is the surprise. You know, if our result holds Mohammad Salim, as we saw in 2004, Manmohan Singh emerges from nowhere. 1996, Deva Gowda emerges from nowhere. Do you see that situation? Do you believe the India of 2019 is really ready for someone who just comes in from the outside and perhaps gives a sense of instability and uncertainty to a large number of people? Is it possible to look for a regional leader, someone beyond the non-BJP, non-Congress leadership?
Right. Rajdeep, you are right that the situation is like to emerge as it was in 1906 or 2004, because the people are unhappy with the existing setup and they want an alternative. But deciding now who is going to be the Prime Minister will be too early. That time also, I remember in 2004, BJP put up full-page advertisement that Bajpayee ji on the one side and on the other side question mark. And there are so many people like Amit Shah is saying now. So we don't enter into this which neta, but what nitis. In 2004, there was a common minimum program based on that. So issues which are coming up through the opposition political parties, like strike we had in 8th and 9th January, like the Kisans Morcha, like the students' agitation, unemployed youth mobilization, and the political parties are addressing those issues inside Parliament, outside Parliament.
Corruption, should the country not have a sense?
Will be stitched up.
No, but as you saw in your own city of Kolkata, when you had this Mahagathbandhan rally, you were not part of it. You were not part of it. Rahul Gandhi was not there. There are contradictions within. K. Chandrasekhar Rao was not there. I'm trying to understand, how is this Mahagathbandhan actually working on the ground? You oppose Mamata Banerjee, but yet do you oppose the BJP more? What is the nature of this potential non-BJP, non-Congress front?
Have patience, Rajdeep. Where is this Mahagathbandhan? The media, the corporate media has coined this. There's none existing. UPA is there, NDA is there, NDA plus is there, UPA plus is there, left front is there. But you are talking, you are naming a baby which is not yet born. So there is no Mahagathbandhan at national level. In Bihar there was a Mahagathbandhan, but then Nitish Kumar switched over. So there is no Gathbandhan, forget about Mahagathbandhan. Even Mamata Banerjee's rally, it was a show of the Trinamool Congress where many political leaders were invited and attended. It was not a Gathbandhan, it was not an alliance, it was not a front. So you are, Mamata Banerjee started federal front thing, you discussed it with Chandrasekhar Rao and Shiv Sena. Where is Shiv Sena? Where is Chandrasekhar Rao? where is TRS? So there is no Gadbandhan, and there is not going to be any Gadbandhan before election at the national level. At the state level, there will be seat adjustment, maybe, as far as possible, and pulling up anti-BJP votes so that BJP is reduced and the others get their numbers.
You want to tell me who's your, okay,
post-poll alliance.
who is your direct,
And we're not electing
who's your enemy number one then? Who's your enemy number one, Mamata Banerjee or Prime Minister Modi? Let's be very clear. You're saying this Mahagathbandhan is a creature of the corporate media. Chalo, we'll accept it because your leaders sometimes coin these terms. We don't. It is leaders who coin these terms, not the media. But I want to know, who's your prime enemy, Mamata Banerjee or Narendra Modi?
Never. No. No.
Who's your PM?
United Front,
who would you
talk National Front?
Who would you prefer as PM?
Third Front, United Front, then you abuse. Acha, no enemy. No enemy.
Who's your PM candidate?
No
Mamata,
enemy first.
Mamata
we consider
or
opponent,
Modi?
Not enemy. Even Modi ji, Amit Shah is not enemy, and Mamata.
Who's your Prime Minister
not
candidate?
acceptable as Chief Minister. You're talking about Prime Minister. Because corruption, we are fighting against corruption.
Okay.
Anybody
Bengal.
Yes.
who will be accepted by and who can carry major political parties against BJP.
Okay, that's a fair point you made. Let's get Priyanka Chaturvedi. No Mahagathbandhan. Am I to understand that all these leaders I've thrown up there are simply dream merchants who themselves are selling their own dreams to become the next Prime Minister? Will the Congress accept, for example, given our numbers, you may well have to accept supporting a federal front Prime Minister from the outside? Would you be ready to do so?
If we go by the mood of the nation survey, it is very clear that
you are 97 seats only, as per our numbers.
Yes, mood of the, but if you look, this is going to change. There is going to be a consolidation of votes. We are going to add more seats. Very clearly, we are emerging as a single largest party. We will continue to stitch up our alliances in various states, and we have also, and we are categorically stating this, that in times to come, every like-minded party which believes that BJP has wreaked havoc across the nation in terms of economy, in terms of farmer distress, women's issues,
ma'am, are you telling me, just a very, I want a direct answer, ma'am, I want a direct, are you telling me, Priyanka Chaturvedi, that the Congress is unwilling to support anyone else but a congressman or congresswoman for Prime Minister, that all these other names I'm throwing up
I think,
will not be
I think the Congress president has very categorically time and time again addressed this issue, where he said if we emerge as a single largest party and if this responsibility is given to him, he would definitely take on this responsibility. However, if there is a shift, which I definitely believe is not going to happen, then we are also open to an idea where a country which definitely needs good leadership and a stable government and a government which is working for the people of this
country,
country,
have any preferred choice?
we are going to respect the outcome of that particular election.
Are you ready to, as I said, is there any particular choice you have of a non-Congress leader?
No, there's no talking of choice. We're talking about people's choice right now.
I'm going by the numbers. At 97, all you can do is support someone else.
You cannot cherry pick numbers. Now, right now, you are discussing 52% acceptability of Sri Rahul Gandhi. You're accepting him as a 41% best suited Mahagathbandhan. No, so I'm just categorically saying, look at the difference. Look at the difference. It's not coming from you or me.
Okay.
It's coming from the people of this country. And I think there has to be no further argument on this.
Ajit Jha, is that very clear from these numbers? There is no question, but that if the opposition has to choose someone, it has to be Rahul Gandhi.
Not really, Rajdeep. I'll tell you what is happening. There are only two national parties in this country, the BJP and the Congress.
Yes.
All other parties are regional parties. These parties, many of them, have massive concentration in a state like Uttar Pradesh, for example.
Yes.
For example, when we were discussing the SP-BSP alliance, we talked about 58 seats out of 80, right? Congress is merely 2 seats. It's across the country. Congress has been a national party for very long. Number one. Number two, this is a Lok Sabha election. It's not an assembly election. Voters tend to be vote splitting. Even an SP-BSP supporter will say, Lok Sabha mein Rahul Gandhi ko dena.
I am asking you, do you see a repeat of 1996, where you had a Deva Gowda, a Chief Minister Karnataka, becoming Prime Minister, given our numbers?
Yes.
Or the more likely scenario of 2004, where someone emerged from the Congress party itself, not necessarily Sonia Gandhi. At the time, Manmohan Singh emerged. Now, not necessarily Rahul Gandhi, someone else.
I see, given the changes that are going on in the last 2 weeks, what I saw in Lucknow, what I saw in Kolkata last week, Mamata Banerjee's rally, in Lucknow SP-BSP coming together, now that TDP is talking about the next get-together in Hyderabad, Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi, I see the emergence of a federal front call it Mahagathbandhan, call it Federal Front, as the chief challenger of the BJP, the Congress should join that. It would be better for the Congress. It would be a much more robust.
So you're saying the
robust
Congress will
coalition.
have to join this Federal Front. I'll come to a moment on that. But when you're listening to these voices, I've kept you silent for a while, Narasimha Rao, because you were amused faintly when you heard Mohammad Salim saying there is no Mahagathbandhan.
No.
Is this the nature of the election that you will run? That they have no leader, we have a leader. That's the simple narrative that you're going to play.
What I liked was his honest admission of it. I think people of this country know. You see, in a sense, the governments in these three states actually militated against the Congress party's prospects, honestly. I think I'm being purely analytical here. Because they are not wanted as a part of the alliance in Uttar Pradesh. TDP, which was Naidu, was literally running around the Congress. And now he has also dumped them. Aam Aadmi Party doesn't want to have them. Mamata Banerjee will not have a truck with the Congress party in West Bengal. So they are being increasingly bourgeois and unwanted party. So they have realized that let's keep them out.
Or maybe everyone is playing the post-poll game. Everyone wants to build their own base to play a post-poll game.
UPA tally that you have given is 97, going by your own numbers.
No, Congress tally. UPA is 166.
Okay, you have included parties like RLD in this.
Yes.
RJD in this.
Yes.
Even RJD may not have them as part of
BNK
their alliance.
is there. I am asking
So
you very
Stalin
clearly.
had proposed Rahul Gandhi as a prime minister. What happened to that project? Has anyone from the UPA accepted it? Has anyone from the UPA volunteered support for it? So therefore, this so-called projection of Rahul Gandhi, even Congress is not, I think you have literally forced her to make him a prime ministerial candidate on this show. He's certainly the party's president. And but the Congress is also hesitant to name him as PM candidate.
I actually feel quite sorry about your hearing abilities or comprehension abilities. I have said this with
no, you
confidence.
have a problem.
I shall say it with confidence. 2019, every Congress party worker is working towards.
No, why do you get so rattled by it?
Absolutely, there's nothing to be rattled about. There's nothing to be rattled about.
You are scared of projecting.
Why should we be rattled? We are extremely confident, and we are extremely confident that he has turned out to be the one-man army who has given you all an effective challenge in the states you all used to think were your, strongholds.
But you know, when you look at these challenges, Manisha Prem, you saw what happened in Kolkata. All parties coming together. Now we are told it could happen in Hyderabad, in Delhi. Does this actually give Mr. Modi the opportunity to say, look, they've all ganged up? That in a sense, victimhood is what Mr. Modi will play on. All these parties are ganging up against me. Does that work to the advantage?
What about his 36-party alliance?
Okay, what about his 36? But you're not. Okay, but they have a leader. The question is, who's your leader?
We have a leader.
Time and again for the BJP to say,
yes,
well, they did have a leader, but they did have alliances. And in the poorest parts of the country, even the BJP did not win the election outside of alliances. They had alliances. The fact is that at this point now to say that all of them are ganging up together, many of them standing together by default happen to be chief ministers. The fact that people who were behind bars, Jignesh Memani, were considered non-entities. Now they are the ones opening the innings. And remember always that the Indian electorate, especially in the poorer parts of the country, wants Vikaswad and wants performance, and therefore every party, whether it is them or the other one, be warned that unless you are seen as serving the poor, by any chance, if you are seen as people who want to arrogate power unto yourself, you will not be there. If you want to be close to people's issues, the challenge and the election is going to be yours.
Let me bring in Jai Panda at this moment, because Jai Panda, you've been formerly with the Biju Janata Dal. You've now, of course, resigned your membership. Do you believe, from your analysis, that there is a sense that you can now actually go back to 1996, have a Devagowda-like figure emerge from the shadows? Or do you believe the contest still primarily remains Modi versus Rahul Gandhi?
Rajdeep, if you look at the opinion polls that your channel has come out with, and also a couple of other major national opinion polls recently, they all seem to give the NDA between 245 and 261 seats.
No, we are giving them 237.
So if this range turns out to be correct, then I don't think this is similar to 1996. All right, I stand corrected. So between 237 to 261 are what the 2 or 3 current opinion polls are saying.
Yes.
So this is not similar to 1996. Because from 237 or 261 to get to 272 is not that much of a stretch that it will bring out dark horses. I think if this scenario turns out, then you are looking at basically a 2 or 3 main contenders, including the Prime Minister himself, including perhaps Rahul Gandhi, and perhaps somebody else that might come out from the Mahagathbandhan. But not a complete dark horse, as was the case in 1996. For that to happen, the NDA would, in my opinion, have to get substantially less.
Let me ask you, Rajiv Dubey, in conclusion, when you look in this segment, when you look at these numbers and names like Mamata Banerjee, Mayawati, many say that she could be a potential dark horse by playing the Dalit card aggressively as India's first Dalit Prime Minister. Will the business world say, oh God, Mayawati, oh God, Mamata, or are they reconciled to the fact that maybe this is the nature of India?
Well, it will be a surprise as far as business world is concerned if it is Mayawati or Mamata, because their economic agenda and economic policies are not necessarily things that are considered progressive.
Mamata holds big investor conferences. Now
she holds big investor conferences and still makes Tata run away from West Bengal.
That was in an earlier avatar. I'm just trying to understand. Will the business world be will it reconcile itself easily to a non-BJP, non-Congress Prime Minister?
It's going to be very tough. I think the business world, if you look at it from at this point in time, it seems that they are more or less sure that this government is going to come back to power in whatever form.
With some new allies.
With some new allies.
That's the general belief.
Yeah, because the stock market so far hasn't reacted wildly to any of these news.
So we won't frighten them for a moment. But let me, GVL Narasimha Rao, ask you about a scenario I should have asked earlier also, of a potential BJP Prime Minister who is not Narendra Modi. This is being thrown up. 202. At 202, you'll need at least 4 allies, going by our figure. It is possible that some parties may come and tell you, maybe the TRS may tell you, we want someone else other than Mr. Modi. Are you willing to consider that, contemplate that?
No,
Nitin Gadkari and Amit Shah?
This question was asked even before 2014.
Yes.
Because people thought, the media thought BJP cannot go beyond 182.
Yes.
That was our previous peak. So how would Narendra Modi be acceptable unless he can get 272? And that was, so most people gave up on the idea of Prime Minister Modi being Prime Minister. We disproved them. And we will disprove once again.
So there is no question. There is no question of any. There is no question of a non-Modi BJP Prime Minister.
I think whatever additional numbers we want to conjure up, even before 330, that will come with Narendra Modi and with nobody else. His ability as a magnet is far greater than anybody in the entire political spectrum.
Okay. I think that's spoken as directly as you can. There goes Nitin Gadkari's hopes to become the next Prime Minister of India, if at all he's entertained them.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.